The old house stood alone at the end of Cloud9 Road, a sentinel of secrets. Its paint peeled like scabs, windows like vacant eyes stared out blindly. This was a place forgotten by time, shrouded in whispers and shadows. Sarah had always been drawn to it. There was an undeniable allure to its decay, a melancholy beauty in its ruin. The gnarled branches of ancient oaks seemed to reach out towards the house, their leaves rustling like secrets in the wind. The air itself felt heavy, burdened by unseen things. Locals told tales of the house, stories whispered around flickering campfires, voices hushed and low. They spoke of strange lights, of disembodied voices echoing in the dead of night. Some said the house was cursed, a tomb for the living. Even on the sunniest day, a chill seemed to emanate from the house on Cloud9 Road. It was as if the very walls themselves held their breath, waiting for the moment they could exhale their sorrow upon the world. Sarah couldn't resist the pull any longer. The stories, the whispers, they only fueled her fascination. She parked her car a safe distance away, hesitant to get too close. Her heart pounded a steady rhythm against her ribs as she stepped out into the silence. The old iron gate groaned in protest as she pushed it open. It was a sound that spoke of rust and decay, a sound that sent shivers down her spine. She walked up the overgrown path, each step drawing her closer to the heart of the mystery. As she reached the front porch, the first drops of rain began to fall, heavy, fat drops that splattered against the weathered wood. The sky above was a canvas of bruised purple and angry grey, mirroring the turmoil brewing within her. Taking a deep breath, Sarah raised her hand and knocked on the front door. The sound echoed through the house, a hollow thud that seemed to reverberate in the pit of her stomach. There was no answer, only the sound of the wind whistling through the gaps in the eaves. The storm broke with a vengeance as Sarah stepped inside the house. Rain lashed against the windows and the wind howled like a banshee. A sudden clap of thunder rattled the old house to its core, plunging the interior into darkness. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Sarah's resolve. She fumbled for her phone, her fingers trembling as she struggled to turn on the flashlight. The weak beam of light did little to penetrate the oppressive darkness that seemed to press in on her from all sides. The air was thick with the smell of dampness and decay. Dust motes danced in the beam of her flashlight, swirling like tiny phantoms. Sarah could hear the sound of her own breathing, shallow and rapid, echoing in the silence. A sudden gust of wind slammed a door shut somewhere in the depths of the house. The sound was followed by an eerie silence, a silence so profound that it seemed to hum in Sarah's ears. Sarah jumped back with a gasp, her heart pounding in her chest. Something cold and damp had brushed against her cheek, sending a shiver down her spine. The flashlight beam danced erratically, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. She could hear it now, a soft tapping sound coming from somewhere above. It was rhythmic, insistent, like fingernails scratching against the inside of her skull. Slowly, cautiously, Sarah made her way towards the sound. The attic stairs groaned under her weight as she ascended. The air grew colder, heavy with the scent of mildew and something else, something vaguely metallic. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. As Sarah reached the top of the stairs, she saw it, a figure huddled in the far corner of the attic, shrouded in shadows. It was tall and gaunt, with long, bony fingers that tapped against the dusty floorboards. Its eyes, two glowing embers in the darkness, fixed on Sarah. A scream caught in her throat, strangled by terror. She stumbled back, her foot catching on the loose floorboard. The world spun, and then everything went black.